Robotic soldiers, activate and advance.
Princess Aelira of the Varelian Star Dominion was not raised to fall in love. She was raised to calculate fleet trajectories before she could fully read, to memorize battle doctrines before she understood poetry. The Dominion had ruled 12 systems for centuries, its living crystal ships shimmering like stars given form. War was not new to her people. Losing was. The Drathari coalition advanced with mechanical brutality, their mass-produced fleets grinding through border colonies one by one. Varelian ships were superior in elegance and coordination, but the Drathari outnumbered them 3-1. Projections showed the same outcome every time: slow collapse. Then the humans entered the discussion. Humanity was young, barely 2 centuries into interstellar expansion. Their territory was small, their fleet numbers unimpressive. No ancient bloodlines, no telepathic unity. Yet their borders were untouched. No empire openly attacked Earth, not even the Drathari. The High Council presented their solution in a chamber thick with tension, a political marriage to secure a binding military alliance with humanity. The proposed groom was Commander Elias Rowan, a soldier. Not nobility, not psychic, not even particularly famous outside Terran space. Aelira accepted before doubt could take root. If marriage to a human would halt the Drathari advance, she would make that sacrifice. The ceremony took place aboard a neutral orbital station under the observation of half the galaxy. It was more contract than celebration. Varelian luminescence met Terran steel-gray uniforms beneath cold starlight. Elias Rowan stood tall, calm, almost understated. His eyes held no arrogance, no fear. "Your Highness," he said simply. "Your commander," she replied. The vows were brief, the alliance sealed. Within 12 hours, Drathari fleets paused their assault. Within 24, they began withdrawing from contested sectors. Across military channels galaxy-wide, activity slowed to an uneasy quiet. No empire moved. At first, Aelira believed it coincidence, strategic recalibration, temporary caution. Then she transferred to the Terran flagship Resolute and began observing humanity directly. Their ships were not beautiful like Varelian constructs. They were armored, angular, layered with redundancies. Every system had backups. Every backup had one beneath it. Engineers spoke casually about worst-case scenarios as if discussing weather. "You build expecting failure," Aelira observed during a systems tour. "You build expecting survival," Elias corrected gently. She requested access to Terran military history. What she found unsettled her more than any weapon schematic. Humanity had nearly erased itself multiple times before ever reaching space. Global wars, nuclear fire, biological disasters, artificial intelligence rebellions, environmental collapse. Each crisis had pushed them to the brink. Each time, they adopted. Their doctrine was simple: never strike first, but if struck, end the threat completely. Decades earlier, a regional power known as the Kelrothi Syndicate attempted to annex a Terran mining colony. The humans responded not with rage, but with efficiency. In 72 hours, every Syndicate warship was disabled, command networks erased, weapons production neutralized. Civilian infrastructure remained intact. The Syndicate still existed. Its capacity for war did not. The lesson traveled faster than light through diplomatic back channels. Humanity did not posture. Humanity concluded. "They let others underestimate them," Aelira said quietly after reviewing the records. "It keeps things peaceful," Elias replied. She began noticing subtler strengths. Human crews laughed easily, even during combat drills simulating catastrophic losses. Soldiers trained relentlessly, but treated each other like family. Civilians volunteered for planetary defense without coercion. They were not fearless. They were resilient. The test came sooner than expected. A rogue Drathari warlord, furious at the coalition's retreat, mobilized a splinter fleet toward a vulnerable Varelian system. clearly betting that humanity would hesitate to escalate so soon after a diplomatic union. Aelira stood beside Elias on the bridge as warning signals flared. "If you respond too aggressively, the galaxy may unite against you," warned Aelira. "If we respond too softly, they'll test us again," answered Elias. He issued a single command: deploy shield wall. Terran ships moved with startling coordination, forming an interlocking defensive lattice around the threatened system, energy fields layered over one another, seamless and precise. The Drathari rogue fleet fired first. Missiles and plasma struck the Terran barrier and vanished in redirected flashes of light. No immediate retaliation followed. Instead, Elias opened a channel. "You are engaging a protected system. Withdraw immediately. Further aggression will result in permanent military neutralization." The warlord laughed and ordered a second strike. This time, humanity answered. Drones launched in perfect synchronization, not explosive, not traumatic, precise. Within 4 minutes, every hostile ship lost propulsion, weapons arrays powered down, command vessels went dark, life support systems remained untouched. The rogue fleet drifted, helpless but alive. Total defeat, minimal casualties. Elias transmitted a final message: "This conflict is concluded." The splinter fleet surrendered. Across the galaxy, observers reached the same conclusion: humanity could escalate infinitely, but chose measured finality instead. After that day, fleet movements around Varelian and Terran space decreased noticeably. Trade lanes reopened. Even distant empires adjusted patrol routes to avoid misunderstandings. Standing beside Elias in orbit over Earth weeks later, Aelira finally understood. "You could dominate the stars," she said. He looked down at the blue oceans of his homeworld. "We've spent our history surviving ourselves. Conquest sounds exhausting." She studied him, not as a political asset, but as her husband. "You married me to secure peace," she said. "Yes. And now?" "Now," he replied, meeting her luminous gaze, "you're not just an ally, you're ours." There it was, the core of human deterrence. They did not defend territory alone, they defended belonging. By marrying her, Elias had made the Varelian Dominion family. Any attack on her people was now personal. And humanity, forged in extinction and tempered by restraint, did not lose what it considered family. Months later, Aelira returned to her homeworld with Elias at her side. Drathari envoys proposed formal non-aggression treaties. Border skirmishes ceased entirely. Even distant empires recalculated expansion routes. The stars remained full of ambition and rivalry, but around Varelian and Terran space, there was stillness. No invasions, no probes, no daring maneuvers. Because every strategist in the galaxy understood the truth now. She had married a human, and humanity never left its own undefended. So no empire dared move.